My next guest got another impressive victory this past weekend at UFC Fight Night. It is Chris Gutierrez, El Guapo, back here on the program. Chris, how's it going, man?
Man, life is good. I can't complain.
I bet, yeah, good performance, and obviously an opponent switch up. You're supposed to fight Javid Basharat. You get the newcomer, which I think fans. One of the things that kind of annoys me about that, they always think it's tough for the new guy coming in, but for the fighter who's even on the card, it's it's always a different opponent. How much was there an adjustment?
Two different fighters, so I definitely had to switch up some things on the fly. And the week of, so yeah, a lot of people think you're just getting in there to fight. You are to a point, but also there's some factors that go into it. Some guys are heavier punchers, some guys are heavy kickers, some guys are grapplers. So you have to approach it a little bit different. It's not just a wild fight you're going to go get in. These are professional athletes that are training for you. So you have to kind of do the same thing back,
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Did you know much about him before taking this fight? I know it's tough to keep track of the regional scene, right?
No, I had honestly he came off a really a really spectacular knockout when he he fought at LFA a couple of months back and he hit a guy with a hook and just lights out. That was the only thing I really ever saw of him. But after I got his name, obviously, I looked him up a little bit and, he was on a tear.
Yeah, and it definitely made sense. I know you would have liked the finish in the fight, but just overall thoughts on your performance. I thought it was a good, outing on your end, especially the circumstances of having to fight a new guy.
Yeah, like you said, I would have loved a finish. I was really going for the finish. But, at this level, sometimes the guys don't fall so easy, and, yeah, but I took some positives out of it. I didn't just lay on my back. I've been working my wrestling, and I put it on display a little bit in my jiu-jitsu as well. My overall game. So I was happy with that.
Anything about him surprise you? I know you didn't have a lot of time to prep for the new opponent.
No, nothing really surprised me. I knew he was going to be tough. I never went into this fight thinking, I'm just going to blow through this guy. I never did that. I know what I'm capable of. I fall back to my training, and I knew he was going to be tough, but I knew I was my experience was going to carry weight over him, and it showed.
So not only did you get the win, your teammate Yusuf Zalal also getting a big victory as well. So how did you guys celebrate after the fight?
Yeah, he looks good, didn't he?
Yeah, amazing. I talked to him yesterday. Actually, he was. I was asking him about you. I thought that was kind of cool that you guys both got the win on the card, right? So.
Yeah, man. It's obviously good whenever you can get a win, but then when you can be on the same card as one of your teammates and both of you get a win, it just makes for a good night. I've been on the other end too. I've been on the end where I get a loss and then another teammate gets a loss. So I've been on both sides. So to have this win, it lifted a lot of weight off our shoulders for sure.
Love it. What did you get up to though? Did you go get some good food after? I know you're not the guy going to like a club and making like a big party, but I'm sure you got some good food after the fight.
I did. We went to this spot in Vegas. It was a chicken spot. Damn, I forgot the name of it.
No worries. Where's it located in Vegas? And then we can kind of pin it down maybe.
It's something Rye.
Okay.
RYE. It was a fancy little joint, but it has some, I was really craving some chicken.
Okay.
And so I got some chicken there and it was good, man. It was really great. I'm sorry I don't got the name of it.
Oh, no, don't worry about it. We can probably pin it down. Good chicken places in Vegas. I'm sure it'll come up. There's so much good food in Vegas. Like you can't really go wrong. I'm trying to even remember if I had like a bad meal there. They've got it made, right? So.
That's true. I think it was called like,
don't worry about it. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. We don't need to worry too much about it. There's lots of good places as well. So I guess sort of the obvious question, when do you want to get back in there? Do you want to get one more this year? Do you want to kind of reassess? Like when would be sort of an ideal timeline for your next fight?
Yeah. I took, my feet and legs are a little banged up from the fight. But I'm a kicker. I'm a heavy kicker. So that's normal. I would like to get another fight in this year. I would like to run it back with Javid.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah, because he's been making a lot of noise, and I think that's a really good fight for both of you guys, right?
Yeah. I mean, I just think that's a fight that makes sense. We were this close to making it happen. You know, and this sport is crazy, man. You ride that fine line between training your ass off and then not training, and then you get hurt. You know what I mean? So it's, you know, I would like to run it back, and you know, he actually wrote me and you know, good luck and congrats on the win. And I told him, you know, sucks that he got injured. You know, get better, and hopefully we can dance again here at the end of the year.
Doesn't surprise me. You guys are both pretty respectful dudes, so it's cool. That's one of the parts of the sport I like, is when you get rid of all this noise and then you get two guys that just generally want to fight each other and put on a good performance. So that's really cool as well. So yeah, that's probably number one priority. Anyone else you'd want if that doesn't work out? I mean, obviously, it seems like he'd done the UFC's job already. Let's just book the fight when he's healthy, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, Zahabi was the one that beat him. So, you know, Aiemann Zahabi would be another, you know, those two are the ones that are on my radar. You know, we're kind of in the same general bubble. You know, we're right there, like in the top 20.
Yeah.
So, you know,
well, I think that would work out because my understanding is, you know, Aiemann Zahabi is supposed to fight Marcus McGee, and then apparently that fight's off. And I know my understanding is, some of the stuff I've been hearing is that, you know, he wants to fight a ranked opponent. So I think that would make a lot of sense with you two as a second option, maybe to Javid. So yeah, we'll see, because you're obviously ranked, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how the rankings work. You know, that's way above me.
For sure. Well, yeah, a bunch of media people vote on it. Not me though. You gotta, you know, it's a tough job. I don't envy anyone who has to do it. And one other thing I just wanted to mention about the next fight, they have that card in Utah, which is relatively close to Colorado. Is that something you're looking at, or doesn't really matter where you fight next?
Where that one's in when? October
5th. So would that be too early, or?
Yeah, that'd be too early.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like, honestly, I would like around December. You know, I got two teammates fighting on the December card. I got Anthony Smith is fighting Reyes.
Yeah.
And then I believe Dustin Jacoby is fighting someone else, I think the week before.
I think you're right. Yeah, he does have a fight booked. He is fighting. Oh no, he doesn't have a fight book. So maybe maybe it leaks something there, and it's all good. We don't know the opponent though, so no one's gonna get in trouble there. No, it's all good. No, don't worry about it. It's all good. Sticking with your division, obviously we got the title fight coming up with O'Malley and Merab. One of the best fights this year. As a fellow bantamweight, what do you think of that fight, and who do you think could edge that one out? Because it's a really interesting style matchup.
It is. You know, I'm interested. It's a very interesting stylistically. You know what I mean? Merab is going to want to crash to get a hold of O'Malley, and O'Malley's very smart. You know, he's very IQ smart. He's going to want to make space and and run Merab into some shots. You know, they're both people that I would that I'd probably be fighting one of these days. So, you know, as far as who wins, I don't know. I'm interested to see how it plays out. You know, to the best man wins. You know.
I think people would say that it's probably going to be O'Malley by knockout or Merab by decision. Do you see it a different way as far as the fight ending that way?
No, I see it that way too. I either see O'Malley getting the stoppage, via TKO KO, and Merab. If Merab gets a hold of you, I think it's just going to be a long night. You know, just a grueling fight. He's going to beat you up, throw you around, put you on the mat, punch you a little bit, and just make it gritty and dirty.
What do you think's more likely?
I think O'Malley gets the knockout.
And remind me again, how many more fights do you have in your contract? Because obviously, big win. You're moving along nicely in the division.
Yeah, I think I have three more on this.
Oh,
contract.
so it must have been okay. Gotcha. So that okay. Did you sign a new contract then before this fight?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Congrats, man. That's how many is that for you now? Because I was just thinking, like, even before we hopped on here, I was like, we've been doing interviews for a long time. This has got to be contract like number 5 or 6. I'm assuming, or how long has it been?
No. This is my third or fourth one, to be honest.
Okay, so I went on the high end. I was trying to give you more credit here. That doesn't matter.
Hey, I appreciate it. Maybe we can get there, right?
Yeah, no. Well, listen, I think you're in good standing. The UFC likes watching you fight, and obviously you're putting on good performances. You're fighting good competition. I mean, I think that's a good way to keep your name in the UFC. Although we have seen fighters get released recently. I don't know if you saw, I know it's not your division, but did you see the whole Muhammad Mokaev thing at flyweight? What did you think of that, him getting released?
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen and what I've heard, he's just very, he likes to run his mouth. He likes to cause a scene. And then, I agree. You do all this, you create all this shit. And then when it's time to fight, you guys throw like 2 or 3 punches the whole fight. That's not a good look, but, yeah, that's crazy. He was undefeated too. So, it just kind of lets you know, you got to go in there and fight,
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And then another big thing that happened in your division, how about Umar Nurmagomedov defeating Cory Sandhagen a couple weeks ago? He looks like he's in line for a title. What did you make of Umar's performance?
Yeah, I surprised me a little bit. I didn't. They both surprised me. Cory's takedown defense and to his rolling. He kept rolling, trying to go for leg locks or trying to set him up. I thought that was really good on Cory's part. But Umar just, he kept staying on top, and his striking started. His wrestling ultimately led his striking to open up. So I thought that was good on his part. Very good fight on both ends. Very high level, very technical, and very high IQ on both ends. I like it. I was a fan, and I watched it for sure.
Yeah, I loved it. It was like a chess match watching that fight. 2 really high-level guys. Cory, give him credit too. I know a lot of people are, how fans are. You lose a fight, you're terrible, whatever. But Cory displayed a lot of good takedown defense, even like the strategy of like how to attack a guy like Umar. That fight was awesome. Like that was one of my favorite fights this year, even though I think to the fans, they would probably go with like a Gaethje Holloway fight over that. But I like fights like that too that are very technical.
That's true, man. Not every fight can be a barn burner. It's just...
It can be technical. Another fight that reminds me about that is Gamrot and Arman Tsarukyan a couple of years ago. Like really technical, fast. Like you're seeing them have to like think instantly. I love fights like that are very technical.
I love it too. I wish the general population would get educated on fighting, but you can't make everyone happy, and ultimately you got to go in there and secure your victory in your career.
Well, like I mentioned, yeah. Sorry.
No, it's good. I mean, people are gonna hate you regardless. If you win, you could have done things differently. If you lost, you suck. So ultimately, man, you got to secure your own victory in your own career,
Yeah. And that kind of segues me to my next question, talking about how, you got the new contract, UFC's happy with you. I also see you're with new management. You're with Vayner Sports. Tell me how this all came together, being with one of the biggest management groups in the world, because obviously they rep all sports, and Gary V, man, it doesn't get much bigger than that.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. A new chapter in my life. They treat me well, and I like it. It's going. I've been there for about a month and a half, and
cool.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a new chapter, and I'm excited for it.
Any like possibilities outside of MMA? Like I know they do a lot of media stuff, and there's a lot of opportunity there. You see the empire that Gary V has built. I don't know if you've met Gary yet, but would you take me through that a bit? If there's any sort of possibilities of El Guapo, the brand, expanding beyond the MMA cage?
Man, I'm open-minded. I'm optimistic with it. So, if something comes down the pipeline and it seems good and it fits me, I would love to do it. I would love to, dip my hands in multiple things. Yeah, I want to meet Gary V too. So,
it hasn't happened yet. Well, I guess it's only been a month. Yeah, there's time. Yeah. There's time. I'm sure. So.
There's definitely time, and I think we'll cross paths, and I can't wait. I think that'll be pretty awesome.
It's great. Got to ask this just because I know we've been doing interviews for a year. I think you know what I'm going to ask. How's your son doing, man? Any update there? Because every time I hear about single father issues, you're one of the first guys I think of, because you're such a good guy, Chris, and I wish that things were a little bit better in that situation.
Me too, man. No, he's 7 years old. He turned 7 June 1st, and I've not got to see him, unfortunately. And that's okay. I gotta do what I gotta do on this side. I gotta handle my business, and obviously, I still have a job to do as a father. I'm still trying to be in his life, but in the meantime and in between time, I can either go crazy thinking about it, or I can just get on with my life and get it rolling in a way where when I finally have him in my life, I can give him a better life than I had. I can be further in life, and I'll have access to more things and better things for him,
Yeah, I completely agree. Have you gotten any calls even, or is that like not even a thing either?
No, man, I
Nothing,
haven't.
dude. Sorry to hear that. Sorry. And again, I hate to rehash old wounds here, but I think it's important to speak about this because fathers do not have a lot of rights in the U.S. and even here in Canada where I live as well too. So I think it's important to speak up about this. And I'm sure you're not alone, Chris. And I'm sure you get people messaging you about it too, like just seeing like what can I do, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do, believe it or not, I get a lot of messages about, they're going through similar stuff, and every situation is different. But as the man, we always get painted in, a monster, and as a man, you got to take twice as long to prove to the courts that you're not this evil person. But by that time, it's already been 20, 30 years. It's hard. You gotta have faith, man. It's helped me get closer to my faith, and really having to put my faith in something higher than me, because I know I need it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people need it, Chris, in today's society. People are losing their minds these days, and that could be an entirely other podcast we could talk about. We're going to end on a positive note, though. What do you got planned the rest of the week? You got any cool dinners? Is Jonathan Martinez in town? You guys hanging out, or is he back in Texas?
He's back in Texas. What I got going on? Nothing, man. Just I got to go outside and mow this yard in a minute. So
have you looked into? Okay, let me ask you this, and I know this is totally off topic. Have you looked? I don't know if you have one. Have you looked into getting an electric mower? Because I got one a couple of years ago, and I'll never go back to gas.
Really?
Yeah, it's so good. Oh my God, I will never go back to gas.
I don't know, man.
No, but I'll tell you why, because like I get the one with 2 batteries. So, and the thing is you don't have to pay for gas every time. So you kind of make your money back eventually. And I have a backyard and a front yard, and I can get both done with 1 battery on 1 charge.
Is it strong enough though?
Yes. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
like it rains here a lot in Vancouver. Like we get pretty tall grass. It does the trick. I'm telling you.
All right. I mean, I'll definitely look into it. Yeah, I never thought about it. I'm old school.
No, I get it. Once I got into it, and I have no affiliation, by the way. I wish, if anything, they should pay me for how much I brag about it. But I made the switch a couple of years ago, and I'll never go back. It's awesome. So there we go.
I'll look into it. I appreciate you.
Hit me up. Yeah, if you ever never need lawn advice or whatever. Not that I'm like a great gardener or anything, but I know a thing or two about lawnmowers. But Chris, taking up way too much time. Hope you have a great rest of your day. If there's anyone you want to thank before you get out of here, any sponsors, any social media, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I want to thank my new management team. I want to thank my coaches over at Factory X, all my teammates, and then Sip Elixir. Thank you for this, for all the good drinks that helped me get through camp, and let's keep rocking. And everybody that supported me, Guatemala, Colombia, everywhere, South America, everyone that's supported me through the good and bad. Thank you, and let's on to the next.